Hey there, friends. This is Gypsy Spirit here with you, doing a daily tarot reading for you. This is just a general read, and I hope for many of us, it will certainly resonate, I feel. It is the Eight of Swords. Now, let me explain this tarot deck. A friend of mine very recently had this tarot deck. It's called the CVD Tarot. And he told me, I was over at his house about 2 months ago, and we were talking about tarot decks, and his wife said, show her your tarot deck. Let's see if Gypsy Spirit can read your tarot deck. And he said, yeah, I showed it to her last year, and she didn't like it. And I didn't recall him showing it to me. And I said, well, I don't remember you showing that deck to me. And he said, yeah, you looked at it, and you said you didn't like it. So I said, well, bring him out. Let me take a look. And within, that was a year ago. And then, a few months ago when he showed it to me, I fell in love with the deck. I was looking at all the cards and reading them. And I was like, man, I don't know what I was thinking a year ago. And maybe, wasn't in the right place or mind. But anyway, now they're here. I have them and they're wonderful cards, but they can be a bit challenging. They were actually created, and I have a book. It comes with a little book. Let me read the book because they were created and printed way back in 1760. Yeah, they were printed in 1760, and they were restored and adapted by a gentleman, I can't even say his name, in 2010. So yeah, these were made in Italy, created in Italy. But they can be a bit challenging to read. I will definitely admit to that. But they're beautiful cards. You saw the picture. This is the World card. And then on the back, it has the Magician card. So I just thought they were really pretty cards. But today we have the Eight of Swords. Swords is always about conflict. And in the Eight of Swords, I think for many of us, we feel trapped. There's a situation that you are in or could be in where you just feel like you're trapped, and you want to know, like, how the hell did I get this way, and how do I get out of it? And because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're trapped. My ex-husband a long time ago said that, we were watching something on TV, and somebody was holding somebody up at gunpoint or knife point or whatever. And he made a comment. He said, that's going to be like one of the worst feelings. And he was right. It does have to be like one of the worst feelings anybody could ever experience, because you're completely powerless. If you can't defend yourself, you feel completely powerless. And in many ways in life, that's how we feel. And this is where the Eight of Swords, I feel, is coming in. There's, there's conflict all around us. And there are situations that we just absolutely have no control over it. None. And the only way to unravel ourselves out of this situation of being trapped is to realize and understand and embrace that we can only be responsible for our own thoughts and actions. When we begin to take on or we allow somebody else's actions or their thoughts to affect us, then that is when we become powerless. It's no different than being held up emotionally. You're being held up at gunpoint or knife point. I'm certainly not trying to disregard those that have been held up physically by knife point or gunpoint, because I can only imagine that is physically a traumatic experience. But emotionally and spiritually, it's as equivalent as the same thing. Because you're literally giving your power over to somebody else, and you are choosing to give your power to another situation or to somebody else's thoughts or feelings, when we have the ability to choose not to give those people or the circumstances our power. We can only control our own emotions, our behavior. That's the only person on this planet that you can control. Honey, you can't even control your own child. We can't control our children. We can advise them. We can try to tell them what to do. We can, when they're very young, we can guide them, but they still have their own thoughts, and they're going to do what they want to do, what they're just going to do, and they have to learn, just like we had to learn. So I hope this gives you some insight on the today's tarot reading, is that you're the only one that can control your thoughts and your actions, and anything else over that, you have no control. So if you try to control it, or to allow somebody else's thoughts and feelings, embrace you, or take over your own thoughts or feelings, and you've given your control over to them. My stepmother is a good example. She is she's 79 years old, and of course now her health and her mind are not all that well. But there was a time, a long time ago, when she first met my dad. I mean, they've been married for 44 years. My father is a hardcore Democrat, and I don't care who's running for office. If they're not a Democrat, my dad's not going to vote for him. And he's very strong, opinionated, and his thoughts, feelings about all it, he's very, very strong. But she never thought for herself. Everything that he thought or felt or believed in, she took it. She went with it. She never allowed herself to have her own thoughts, her own feelings, really. I mean, she just followed whatever she followed his path. I mean, I know that you're supposed to stay faithful to your husbands and wives, but goodness, I mean, she certainly took it far more than what it means, what it's supposed to be. She allowed him to do her thinking for her. And so when you do that, when you allow somebody else, I don't care how much you love them, when you allow somebody else to do your thinking for you, then yes, you are trapped. You have become a prisoner to their thoughts and feelings. You let them control you. So you can't do that. The only way to get out of this entrapment is to embrace who you are, what you are, embrace your own thoughts and feelings, and you are responsible. You're the only one responsible for your actions. So I hope this helps. Hey, you know what? If you need a tarot reading, you can get that. All you got to do is go to the box below, and I have instructions on how to get your own tarot reading, a personal tarot reading with me. If you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling like you've given your power over to somebody else, let's get a tarot reading and see how you can, break that cycle, how you can break that mold so that you can move on and not feel so trapped. I will see you again tomorrow, but you know what, if you like this video, hit the like button, and if you'd like to subscribe to my video, hit the subscribe button so you'll get a notice every time I put something out. Thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't see you tomorrow, I have a cousin of mine died, and I have a funeral I have to go to. So if I don't do a video tomorrow, I'll definitely get one out on Thursday. Okay? Thank you so much, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.